What's up, everybody? How's it going? Cryptosloth here on a nice, what is today? Thursday night. It's like almost 11 p.m. here on the East Coast. And I'm just here. I want to go live. I haven't been going live as much lately, and I kind of feel bad about that. I've missed it. I missed going live, doing impromptu streams. So yeah, here I am. I just wanted to hang out with you guys for, probably 30, 40 minutes tonight. Talk a little bit about what's been on my mind, particularly on the PulseX farms, because we've gotten some pretty decent action in those farms recently. A lot of new coins coming out, a lot of new new farms promoting coins that are like not stuff that RH made. And he's been kind of, stirring up some controversy, with their risk diode stuff. It's like, oh, don't promote anything that isn't mine because you don't want people to know about it in terms of like scams. But now, like here, I'll promote like meme coins on my farms and stuff like that. Whether or not we know if Richard is controlling the stuff, it's definitely under his brand. PulseX is under his brand, so anything that like is put onto PulseX kind of not has a stamp of approval, but like is now like associated with it. So it's pretty cool. Like, a lot of stuff has been happening in terms of the farms and PulseX. And then also I won't say tension, but like, PulseX has some competition with PHUX. So like that dynamic is pretty cool in my opinion. And the implications of all these different farms and then speculating on like what do we think Richard's trying to do with all of this stuff. I think it's a fun conversation and I wanted to have it with you guys. So yeah, let me say hi to everybody in the chat and then I'll kind of pull up what I want. I don't expect too many people to show up tonight, kind of really quick stream, not talking about anything too crazy. So for those of you guys who are here, the 11 of you guys right now, I appreciate it a lot. Okay. Hey, Crypto Kool-Aid, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. You were the first. Godfather J6, good to see you, man. Paul Sachs, good to see you too, buddy. Good to see you too. And hey, we got ATX Crypto. Aren't you live right now? Aren't you live with RG? Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, Crypto. Oh. Yeah, dude, you're still live, my man. Let me look at this, guys. Hold on. Let me share this. ATX is in the house while also being in the house. Look at that, guys. Look at that. He's live right now. Is he on my screen? Can you see himself? Oh man. Wait, let's see if we catch a smile out of him. I'll wait for another minute or so. Crypto Globetrotter. Do I see both E and P? I think that'll only happen if we get parity on hex. So because both of them they derive their value from hex. Um, if the hexes aren't in parity, then the hedron and icosa stuff shouldn't be at parity. But if I take a look at the charts really quickly, let's see. If I take a quick look at the charts, it's about 50%. Yeah, so E hedron is about 50% of P hedron, and then for icosa, it's a little bit more than 50%. So because we've been seeing P hex kind of actually doing pretty well lately, having a nice little recovery rally, we're starting to see a similar reaction off of P hedron and P icosa, which is pretty nice. If you just set let your copies do your work for you, you're catching some of that. So that's awesome. But as of right now, I don't see them reaching parity. Yeah, guys, I don't know if you know this, but Sami's an AI. It's an AI team behind him pumping out three. Hey, you know what? He pumps out like three like 20-minute videos a day, like every day on the spot. It's pretty impressive. Maybe it is AI. If it wasn't, I feel bad because I don't produce nearly that much content. Oh man. Hey, MWSR 25. What's up, man? Yeah, it's not too great out there. I guess we got a little bit of pump on the pulse chain side in terms of the hexes, but everything is down in the dumps, man. Ink's just on a beeline straight to zero. We haven't seen too much of a movement from pulse X and pulse chain, but I think they're trying to bottom out a little bit. I think they're trying to bottom out. Not to say we can't get any worse. I think Bitcoin just recently kind of crashed. Yeah, it's out at 28,000. So that'll put some pressure on all of our stuff. Excuse me. Yeah, let's see. No, I'm not too worried. I mean, like that just means price go down for right now, but eventually, like more money will probably be brought in than leaving whenever we start getting more speculative mania and we start to see momentum build. But as of right now, it's risk off in terms of pulse chain. Money just being extracted. But long term, I'm not worried. This is the pretty natural ebb and flow of most ecosystems, where there's a hype phase, money leaves the system, but then eventually, when momentum picks up, a couple big players start to actually accumulate for real. We'll start to see bridged assets we'll start to see the bridge more active in terms of inflow of stables, ETH, and wrap Bitcoin. I will say that bridge, the directionality of where things are being bridged to, that is a great indicator of what's to come in a lot of ways. So if we start seeing a lot of, well, maybe it's only one way. If we see a lot of stuff being bridged over in terms of like stables and ETH and stuff, that's like, that means that we'll probably see some price action in the upwards direction. But excuse me, guys. But if we see a lot of outflow like we do now, that's kind of a lagging indicator because the sells and the extraction have already happened. We're just seeing them moving it back over so they can take it out. Kind of like Globetrotter was saying right here. I would like to see more people LP in that pool, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But the APR on that is pretty solid, honestly, which makes me very happy. Some news on Tetra. They've officially migrated over to Pulse Chain, so do not buy it on Ethereum, buy it on Pulse Chain. And then you can go to the official Twitter to find the contract address. But it's done very well. It's up like 1.5 to 2x from the price that they pulled the liquidity from. So that's pretty cool. Yep, pretty much. Just what I've been doing is DCAing into the PHUX pools. So I'll have my stables in the stablecoin pool, and then over time I'll pull a little bit and then add it to a different pool that I like, instead of DCAing into specific assets. eTetra is no more. It is nothing. If you own some of it, cool, but it's vaporware at this point. So. Yeah. Yeah. Right now it's on a beeline to zero. Here, I'll show you. But yeah, I agree with you on that, Kool-Aid. It's not. I don't think it's going to be like this forever. There's some pretty cool mechanics. I won't talk too much about it today. I talked a little bit more about it in my LP course, but yeah, I mean, beeline to zero, baby. Hey, you got to laugh at this stuff a little bit, right? Let's see. Yes, so it's going to be a combination pulse action. There is no, like, in my opinion, there is no one single indicator that's going to give you the entire picture. Each indicator is essentially a a distillation of data into some kind of like action based binary system. Action based, I don't know how I'm trying to say with that, but basically you're just interpreting data. You're distilling data into a certain like graphical representation to help you make decisions. But each indicator is derived from different data. So each indicator is telling you different things. So you're going to want a multitude of indicators to kind of help you get a general idea of what's going on. And so with the beat root bridge anonymity thing, that's another aspect that you have to keep in mind on top of the public bridge. That's the official bridge. So if we see general influx of tokens or influx of value coming into Pulse Chain on the public bridge, that's an indicator that money is moving into the system. But you'll also want to keep track of certain wallets that you think are um, accumulating or extracting value. And then you have a little list of them on your own separately so that you can kind of also formulate your own opinion on what's going to happen based on those wallets. And that's what Silver the Antidote does. Probably he's one of the, if not the best person at making that kind of blockchain analysis based on individual wallets and conglomerating a bunch of individual wallets to figure out where price is about to head. Um, so yeah, it's not just the one, but I would use multiple. And having your own list of wallets that you kind of are tracking, I think, is a really good idea. Fatty.io does a good job of that. It is a good service to let you kind of keep track of different wallets. I like Goes a lot. Sour beers. Sour beers are my favorite, man. Great question, non-crypto related. Oh, hey, we got Orange Max. I gotta watch the stream with Access today, man. Hope it was a good one. I wasn't able to catch it because you were late, buddy. Always making fun of me for being late, and then you were late to your own party, bro. Yeah. So, all right. So let's get into the topic of the day. I think that's a good amount of little bit of Q&A. If you guys got more questions, just throw it in the chat, and I will talk about it and answer them. All right, so before when I did some previous streams, we had the farms out, but we really only had about, let's see, this many farms. These were all the farms we had, and they all made sense. So we had Pulse X to Pulse, Stablecoin to Pulse, Hex to Pulse, and then Incentive to Pulse, and then we also had Bitcoin to Pulse as well. And so these all made sense, right? So the stable coins is like we want to incentivize stablecoin liquidity so that there's extractable value in the system. That makes sense. We want to pair PulseX to Pulse. That also makes sense. You know, they're kind of the two main tokens of the Pulse chain ecosystem that aren't Hex, I guess, but they're like, you know, it's the layer one and the DEX. They're kind of a yin and yang to a degree. Obviously, we want to tie Hex to Pulse because that's also one of the Richard Hart coins. And then the incentive to Pulse and incentive to Pulse X also makes sense because we're trying to bond all this liquidity together. And actually, you know what? This would be a good time to pull up that image that I had. I showed this image on one of my previous streams when I was giving you guys a sneak peek into the LP course, and I will pull it back up right now. But the goal of the liquidity providing that's on my screen right now is to kind of create this little system right here. There we go. And then if you guys is little sneak peek for you guys for some other coursework that I'm doing as well. But I got a good 200 some slides down here that I've been working on for you guys. But this is kind of the system that Richard is setting up. where all of his coins are bonded together through the incentivization of the incentive token, and then the incentive token is all bonded to it as well, so that they all share this common pool of stable coins. This is kind of like the goal of what all of these farms were, to give people incentive to provide liquidity in such a way that's beneficial for the entire ecosystem. But now things have changed a little bit. Like what's going on over here? We have Bitcoin to Bitcoin, wrap Bitcoin to Pulse, Pepe to Pulse, and Pepe to Pepe, and then Pepe to then linked to Pulse, and then Uni to Pulse. So this is so there are very two different like types of farms going on here. We have these farms up here, and I guess this one too. Yeah, all of these right here, which these are providing value to the system and liquidity bonding. But then we have these other ones right here that really have nothing to do too much with like the core Richard Heart ecosystem. So like what's going on there? And there's a lot of speculation onto what's going on. So I'm just going to go through each one individually and kind of give you my thoughts. So wrap Bitcoin from Ethereum to wrap Pulse. Let me make sure that's the right. Yeah. So we have a couple of these. So the first thing to note about these pools is that it's one of two things. You have the actual asset from Ethereum to Pulse, or the bridged asset to the native Ethereum asset. Now, the ones to Pulse, I think, are the most interesting because a lot of Richard's marketing around the Pulse X farms and like the bridged copy, the fork copies, is that you'll get to pair each of the copies together. But if you'll notice, of these, only one, or let me think, only one of them, this one right here, and this one, so two of them. We have the Bitcoin to Bitcoin and the Pepe to Pepe ones that are the only incentivized farm between the forked copy and the actual and the native asset. All of the other ones are being paired to Pulse. So those are two very different things that are happening right there. One, people are providing exit liquidity for anybody who got their free airdrop. They're providing it in Pulse, so they're being forced to kind of exit through Pulse, which extracts value from our main ecosystem. And you can argue that that's good or bad. Generally, people who get free stuff that aren't part of our system getting the ability to extract our liquidity isn't great. But what it is doing is allowing the people in our ecosystem to provide that liquidity a little bit easier. Oh, no. Here's what I want to say. But what it does do is force the people who have those native assets to purchase Pulse to be able to provide liquidity in the first place. So there is a little bit of buy pressure that could be going into these tokens because people need to come in, get Pulse, and then pair it together. Now, the forked to native copy, like the Pepe to Pepe and the Bitcoin to Bitcoin LP pools, these have a little bit different of an implication. And that is because the extractable value is coming directly from the native asset and is not being routed through the Pulse chain bonded liquidity. So I like those a little bit more in a lot of ways because it's like, hey, if you got your free copy, you can provide liquidity basically for free because you have each of the copies one for one. More or less. Obviously, the value is different, so you can only provide with a certain percentage. But the value being extracted is from the liquidity pools on Ethereum, not from the liquidity pools on PulseX that's tied to our entire ecosystem. And you'll notice part of the APRs kind of reflect that a little bit. Well, actually, no, this one doesn't. So the APR for the Bitcoin to Bitcoin is pretty high. And then the Pepe to Pepe is actually pretty low. That's probably because this is less incentivized than this one. Let's see. What else did I want to say about that? Oh, so my speculation on kind of like what's been going on in total with why Richard has made what seems to be somewhat of a pivot now to outbound marketing to other communities to get them in is essentially it's essentially a way to get people to interact with our system. Just to get them to make that first interaction. A lot of the times with sales and marketing, really sales, is getting that first interaction, getting them over the obstacle of like getting over, right? So it's like in crypto, if you want to get into Pulse chain, you have to do a bridge. Well, if you have no reason to come over to try it out, all those buttons to click a bridge, and not just all the buttons to click to use the bridge to get over, but also all the learning you have to do to find it, make sure it's not a scam, make sure you know what you're doing. It's a lot of activation energy to get people to make that first interaction with the actual blockchain. And so my speculation, or like one of the main reasons that Richard is doing this, is to decrease that activation energy by giving a financial incentive to come over and use our network. Now, whether that be a degen yield farm, because some of these farms had like 14,000 APR at the very beginning when they opened up, or if it's just to be able to extract value. I mean, you saw that guy. What was that guy on Twitter's name? Pauly. Pauly. Um, let me show you guys that tweet. So Pauly, where is it? So he just basically had a tweet like, "Hey Richard, thanks for the free money. Also, you're stupid." That's the gist of the Pauly crypto drama. Thanks for the 15 grand, and you're dumb, and your followers are dumb. But funny enough, what came out of that is he kind of doxed his wallet, and so everybody was able to kind of figure out some of the money that he has, which I thought was funny. But like the cool thing about that is that, like, yeah, sure, Pauly was able to extract value from us. He took our money, quote unquote, but he tweeted about it, right? So like his followers, he has, let me see how many followers does he have. He has 91,000 followers, right? And he made multiple tweets about Pulse Chain. And so now all of these basically saying, hey guys, go to Pulse Chain. There's free money there for you. So of those 91,000 people, like let's say there's a 1% conversion rate. So 91 divided by 100. You know, if all of his followers got there and there's a 1% conversion rate to people who are like, whoa, this Pulse Chain thing actually isn't that bad. Let me use it and buy that. That's almost 1,000 people that from this guy alone that may learn about Pulse Chain, learn about Hex, and become actual, part users of the ecosystem. And I think that's like the main goal, right? So like even if he's calling us idiots and dum-dums for being invested in this stuff and feeling all superior for extracting 5 figures of value from our ecosystem, right? Like we basically hijacked his social media. And so because we've hijacked his social media, his followers now have been exposed to Pulse Chain, and because there's financial incentive, they've probably interacted with it now. I mean, there were threads from people, from non-RH people, non-Hex people, non-Pulse Chain people, basically saying like, hey, here's how you get your free money. And they wrote a little how-to guide on how to bridge assets over. Like that's really great marketing for us, and that's getting people to do that first interaction. You can't force people to stay, right? Like you can't force people to stay long term, but you can highly incentivize people to interact. And from there, it's just a conversion game. How high of a conversion percentage do you have? Do we have the tools? Do we have the ecosystem to keep people over time? And then there's also that principle, that rule or saying where it's like it takes 3 impressions to be able to convert into a sale or something like that, right? And so we're getting at least 1, probably 2, because these people have heard of Richard Hart before through the whole Hex saga and timeline, and as well as the Pulse Chain stuff, usually in a negative light. But now it's like you get an initial interaction. You get a second interaction through actually extracting value from your free airdrop. And then like Black Pepper says here, they sell their free money and cry later. It's okay, we'll still be here. Yeah, so the third interaction maybe is something like, Giga Green Candles on Pulse Chain and Hex and PulseX, where they're like, oh my God, I was over there, I extracted $10,000, and now that things over there is pumping. Let me try to get in on it. All right, so like these things, these interactions and exposures to stuff like this is more than just a singular event of taking money from us, taking money from the ecosystem. It's more of a long-term psychological marketing kind of game that I see being played to get people to interact with it, so that later on, when the time comes to FOMO, the road has been greased for them to come in and participate easily instead of them having to ask, oh my God, how do I get in? I mean, obviously people are going to ask like, oh my God, how do I get in? How do I bridge? What is this bridge thing? What's a DEX when Pulse Chain is moving? But for a lot of these people who are more crypto natives, they not only do they know how to do it, but they've probably done it because they've extracted some value. And that's why we see some of these communities here. Uni, Link, Pepe, like obviously Pepe was a big thing like a month or so ago. Link and Uni are big top 100, probably top 20 cryptocurrencies. They have a lot of people using them. And so we're just basically attracting them with like a bribe. We're saying like, hey, use our thing and you get money. Yeah. So that's all I had to say about that. I might talk a little bit about Fox, but what do you guys have to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? Jim Dane, what's good, man? That's a nice turkey leg. Looks solid. Duke of Booze, good to see you, buddy. I hope you're doing well, man. I always appreciate you coming around to hang out. Where does this Polly sleep? I don't know, man, but I don't want to tell you because you're probably killing. I'm just kidding. Oh man. Let's see. What do I want to talk about next? The newest epoch for PHUX has gone on, so the APRs have been updated. This bridge stablecoin APR like really impresses me. 30% baseline without any VEPHUX boosts is pretty crazy in my opinion. Let's see. Oh, hey, what's up, Bree? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thoughts on Icosa and Hedron? I like it. I think those are some quality coins right there, Black Pepper. And if you wanted to get it on them, there's this cool pool called the Alex Maxi pool, where yeah, man, when monkey pictures, dude, it's coming. I'm telling you, man, it's coming. Um, but you have this Alex Hedron Maxi pool, and you can get exposure to P Hedron, P Hex, E Hedron, P Icosa, and E Icosa. So if you like those coins, like I do, I think this is a great pool to get into, and this quad pool as well. If you only wanted pulse chain exposure, which I know Bree's about. She likes she's just on pulse chain. So if you're also in that camp, this quad pool is pretty good for that as well. Generally, more thoughts. I just think they're taking a back seat right now. The whole ecosystem needs to recover and show some strength. And until that happens, it's going to be difficult for these more abstracted / derivative assets to perform well. Now, that being said, the flip side to that is you can accumulate so much more of these tokens relative to the total supply versus like Hex. So, like, let's see if we go to, let me see if I have, let me pull up a chart. So if we take a look here, it costs $315 to get a billion Hedron, and then on Ethereum, and then it costs $604 to get that on Pulse Chain, right? So for less than $1,000, you can, or about $1,000, you can get a dolphin-sized position fairly comfortably. Versus in Hex, if you wanted a dolphin-sized position, you still need that's the wrong one. You still need a decent amount of money even at these prices. Uh, oh, hexcalc.net is down. I wonder why. Anyways, let me see if I can do the math on my own. Let's see what's the t-shirt rate. I think Hex Daily Stats is back up. Right? Oh no, it's not today now. Yeah, oh yeah, hey, it redirects it. Let's see. T-shirt price. We'll just use what's the 28. Okay, yeah, so just 28120. Okay. And we're going to divide that by 3 to get the 15-year. Let's see, 8K to be a dolphin and Hedron. Let me double check my numbers really quickly. Hex model, total supply of Hedron is. Sorry, guys, doing the math on the fly. I believe it's 115 trillion, and I'll just assume it's the both on both 126 trillion. So 126 trillion, you need 1.2 billion to be a squid. I'm sorry if I think I said dolphin. You're right. So it's a squid position for that 1K, not a dolphin position. Yeah, I misspoke. Anyways, where was I at? Okay, so it's 9,337 hex per T share if you were to get it between staking for 10 to 15 years. So that's the cheapest amount you can get a T share for. And so each T share at that rate, let's do E hex first. 0.8. So that's $74 per T share in that scenario, and then let's divide 8, and then on Pulse Chain, let's multiply that by 0.0178. So $168, $170 per T share on Pulse Chain for the cheapest, and then 74 on Ethereum, right? So if we're looking for a dolphin position, which is 1,000 T shares, we multiply this by 1,000. Obviously, it's 168,000. $168,000 to get a dolphin position in P hex with leveraging 10 to 15 years of your time, and then it's going to be, if it's 74 times 1,000, obviously that's $74,000 on Ethereum. Right? So it's like a solid 5 to 6 figures, 5 figures on ETH and 6 figures on Pulse Chain at these depressed 90% off prices to get a dolphin position. So then if we do a squid position to make it easier, because I misspoke last time. So if we divide just by 10, it's $7,000 on Ethereum, and then it's like $16,000 on Pulse Chain. So if it's about $1,000 to get a solid squid position in Hedron, in Pulse Chain, and it costs $16,000 to get a squid position. It costs $16,000 and 10 to 15 years of your time to get a squid position in Hex. And so that's like the value discrepancy we're looking at currently with Hedron versus Hex. In my opinion, that's like criminally undervalued. And so the question you have to ask yourself is, if you're looking to accumulate Hedron, since we're just talking about Hedron, we'll do Hedron first. If we're looking to accumulate Hedron versus ICOSA, or Hedron versus Hex, if the T share is the thing that both of these assets derive their value from, you have to ask yourself, is a greater amount of exposure in the more abstracted asset better than less absolute exposure to the closer derived asset? Well, that was a long way of saying Hex is closer to the T share than Hedron, because Hex you can directly stake for the T share. Hedron is a little more indirect, because in order to exchange for the T share, you have to go through the liquidation auction. Also, its distribution model gives it some value. The T share confers some value based on Hedron's inflation model. So that's the more abstracted coin away from the core energy of the whole system, which is the T share. Where was I going with that? So you have to ask yourself, is less exposure closer to the source or more exposure further away from the source? If that's the question you have to ask yourself. Some people, they're like, I want nothing to do with Hedron and ICOSA because they're not Hex, they're not T shares. I only want direct exposure, and that's fair. I don't share that opinion, but that's a perfectly valid investment thesis to have if you're not comfortable going outside of the actual asset, if you don't want derived value. But for me, the ability for $1,000 to get the equivalent of $16,000 in Hex and Hedron, it just makes sense to do that, at least for a little bit. And then you pair that with the fact that you can get into these pools on PHUX, like the Quad pool or the Alex Maxi pool, where you can spread your risk across all the assets while still having a percentage based in that base asset, which is Hex. There, in my opinion, fewer and fewer reasons to not invest in these assets. And overall, getting back to your question, Black Pepper, these are kind of my thoughts and why I'm so very bullish on Hedron and ICOSA, medium and long term. We just need Hex to Hex, Pulse, and PulseX to recover, show some strength, and then once people get confident in those baseline assets, then like it's time to fly, baby. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Hextender? Good to see you, man. I appreciate your support. See, is there an easy way to bridge all my hex from other blockchains to Pulse Chain? If so, how? Portal X swap. I believe that's what you want. The Power City. Yeah, Portal X. So I'm not going to drop any links because I want to give you the wrong thing, but I'd go to Power City's official Twitter, go to their links, and then use the Portal X swap. Hey, nice. Sounds fun. Is it worth compounding ICOSA on Pulse Chain? Am I losing stake? So you're not losing stake points, but you are being diluted by people and new people entering the system and people compounding. The 30-day compounding makes a little bit more sense on Pulse Chain because the gas fees are negligible. The question is like, do you want to do that? Me personally, I don't do 30-day stakes. I do 90 minimum for ICOSA. And honestly, I really lean towards the 180 days. And now with the PHUX pools, I'm even leaning more towards funneling the yield into those pools because it's a little bit more liquid form. Now that is a really interesting dynamic that we have with these PHUX pools because now we have two forms of APR. Obviously, one from liquidity providing and then one from the native yield generated from ICOSA inflation, as well as Hedron being borrowed the borrowed Hedron from T-shirt HSI buybacks for the ICOSA contract. But like because the APRs in these pools are pretty decent, some people may be moving their funds over here to get APY, which increases the APY in the other pool. So there's going to be like a hemostasis, homeostatic relationship between different APR generating opportunities with our Hedron and ICOSA. But me personally, I don't think it's worth it. I know there are people who do think it's worth it, and the compounding will get you a lot. And I'm not going to argue with the math or anything, but to be totally honest, it's not worth my time to manage all those wallets. I don't care. I don't care about extracting the absolute most amount of yield possible. I'm good with the more passive form personally, and that's just because I have long-term belief in the system that the overall gains of price appreciation is I'm going to be happy with that rather than squeezing out every little bit of yield possible. Yeah, I agree with you. Furu is definitely wrong about his. I don't agree with his Hedron take personally. Yeah, I think we agree on that, Bree. We've been in the trenches on Hedron from the beginning. So, but yeah, the price chart will speak for itself when the time comes. I feel no need to try to convince people or argue for it. Obviously, people like the system a lot because I somehow have an audience and people listen to me, and I pretty much exclusively, most of my growth has been around the Hedron and ICOSA ecosystem, which I'm incredibly grateful for. So I'm happy to talk to the people who are on the same boat as me. But yeah, so like the possibility of Hedron outperforming Hex is like probable. Is it guaranteed? No, but like, do I think it's going to happen? Probably, at least for like certain periods of time. And then like, do I think Hex can outperform the other ones? Like, yeah, I think that's pretty valid. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I like this quad pool. Honestly, I'm DCAing into this pool personally right now because you get a nice spread of all these assets. Where it's like Hedron can outperform Hex, Hash can outperform Pulse can outperform Pulse X or Pulse X. But the ratios are pretty solid. You get exposure to all of them. And as long as you're holding some liquid coins on the side, it's like a very easy DCA. And then you also get 50 to 100% APR on top of it for holding your coins in a liquidity pool, which I think is pretty sweet. Hey, I'm glad you like the response. Yeah, so like 9inch is also going to be another DEX that is going to offer APYs to incentivize you to bring over your coins there. Let me think what else. Yeah, I just got to see it come out. Is it out yet? I'm pretty sure it isn't. But once it's out, I'll probably be covering it. I think the the synergy among dexes is going to be a fun thing to cover over time, and I think it's a big important. It's going to be important to know for like maximizing your yield. When Icosa? That was like a year ago, sir. Icosa is now, buddy. I'm here for the dental hygiene tips. Okay, Fast Abdul, brush your teeth twice a day, 2 minutes, and floss once a day. Also, go to the dentist every 6 months. Get your teeth cleaned. Don't eat too much sweets. If you're going to drink soda, drink it through a straw. If you have a dry mouth, go to the dentist, because dry mouth is going to make you more prone to cavities. Let's see what else. Mouthwash is cool. Water picks are cool, but no replacement for floss. Let's see what else. Yeah, there you go. There's your dental hygiene tips, buddy. Yeah, I trust them. I think Buck has done a good job and has stood out relative to all the other all the other protocols that have done sacrifices. They still have, for the people who sacrifice for fiat, they're in profit amongst all the sacrifices, all the coins that they've gotten. They've produced assets that are working on the blockchain, as you can see here. Like you can swap. It's doing what it says it does. I believe they have audits, and I think I believe they have audits. Though I haven't personally checked that actually. But they have done enough and are, obviously Buck isn't doxed fully. He's pseudo anonymous, but like he has a social presence. He's called out scams. He's done right by the people who have supported him financially, and he's provided really cool. He's provided really good platforms and protocols for us to use that give value to Pulse Chain. It's been a net positive. Now, like, do I believe like Buck and his team like care about their bottom line first amongst everything else? Yeah, I think we all do. I think we all care about our own personal bottom lines and the things that we're building first. But in terms of like, do I trust it? I do. If you don't, I don't think you should use it. I don't think you should ever put your coins in a place that you don't feel comfortable, or you're uncomfortable with the contract risk. But for me, it's already passed all the tests internally to be able to trust putting my money on it and recommend it as a platform. And if it goes wrong, then I just if it turns out to be a scam, or there's a hack, or like there's some kind of security flaw, malicious intent, whatever, I'll just have to be held responsible for promoting it on my platform, and I feel comfortable with that risk right now. But yeah, I can totally understand if you only want to stick with holding coins in your wallet, doing the native staking, or like even going on just on PulseX. I can completely appreciate that, being cautious. Icosa staking or Icosa. Honestly, I don't know what the Icosa APYs are right now. If I had to take a guess, probably the PHUX stuff, because the auctions have dried up pretty hard. I got to double check all of that. Let's see, 4 times a day. Careful there, Black Map. You're gonna hurt yourself. Guys, we got conversation about flossing. Flossing, if you floss really hard, actually more if you brush really hard, like you're grinding you're against your gum line really toughly, that can cause recession, and it can actually, you can wear your enamel down, and cause, like, they're called non-carious cervical lesions. And so those are like it's not decay, but they're like deficiencies in your tooth structure, and some of that was happening because you're brushing super hard. So yeah, light touch. I really recommend the electric toothbrushes that have like sensors on it that'll like flash green or red based on if you're having the right amount of pressure or like too much pressure. Yeah, of course, no problem. Yeah, so I haven't looked into Daytona, Chirp, or anything like that. The only other one I'm going to pay close attention to is 9inch. And that's just because the PP token's done well. Hexibaxter is funny. And I think the whole schlong marketing is kind of funny. That's really it. It's just memes. And so we'll have to see how that does in terms of the audits and everything like that. My opinion for dex dilution is that it's actually a good thing in a way. Like obviously PulseX is always going to win. No one can beat PulseX in what they do because it's like the official stamp like RH. It's the RH product. It's the main dex. I think Fux will probably be number two as a balancer fork. And honestly, I like using PHUX more than PulseX right now. Just the idea of being able to own a liquidity position that's a pseudo index fund to be able to DCA into over time really appeals to me. But like, yeah, like find one or two dexes that you like and then do those. I wouldn't be chasing around DeFi yield or degen yield farming yield too much. And actually, that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about with the PulseX stuff. I forgot to mention. I really would not be playing in these pools too much unless you're just like, you want to enter the casino a little bit more, go to the deeper end of the pool in the casino a little bit. But like honestly, like these APRs dry up real quick. Like to be risking your pulse for a link or pulse for uni for 100% APR, like honestly, it's not worth it unless we're getting like 1 to 5% a day. Like dog, it doesn't scratch that degen itch in me at all. So when there's a new pool, if you're able to get in like that and farm a little bit, more power to you. If not, like me personally, I've completely ignored it from a participation standpoint. I've only been paying attention to it just for like content production and like making sure I'm keeping up with what's going on in the ecosystem. Hex tender. Now, when you do your 90-day stakes, do you max it or do the minimum? I know you said you're doing it passively. If you want, let's cast for someone. Do you max it? Max it. Yeah. So if it's like, let's pull it up. Let's go to Hex model. Let me help you out, buddy. Last time I put the music on, people didn't seem to like it. Let me see if I can. Maybe I'll find some cool lo-fi music to put on while I do these kind of Q&A ones, just for me to listen to. I like listening to music while talking to you guys. Okay, here we go. So if we look on Icosa, this is the Hex side, the Ethereum side. So we're just gonna assume it goes over 1 for 1 for right now, just for simplicity's sake, because the math works out the same. Let's see. So you want 90-day stakes. So that's here. So I would do the maximum, which is 943. So maybe like 940, 942, something like that. I would max out all the stakes as much as you can. Yeah. Yes. Oh, people saying yes to music. All right. I like the music here on. Tell if you guys can hear that. I like the lo-fi music on StreamYard. It's pretty cool. I have to find some stuff from like cool Crypto Cool said from Markable. Man, I want to get on more of those lo-fi tracks that they're making. I know they're making stuff for Somi. I got to stream more just so I can have people make lo-fi of my lo-fi music from like what I talk about. Just because I think it's cool. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Awesome. Let's see. Where was I? Back to the question. Yeah, so if you're looking to do it on the Ethereum side, 943. Yeah, that's what you're gonna want to do. Do the max. It's the most efficient for like this time frame. I really would not do these 30-day stakes, man. Like 94 Icosa, dude, that's nothing. Like get at least this 904. And it's better than it was before. Before it was like 400. So that's like put on some Subi Maven. Let me see. I don't know how to put on music from like Spotify on here. Do you guys know? Let me see if I can find it. Let's do that. Let's go here. I'll have to figure that out later. It looks like Kool-Aid has some. If this was OBS, I could figure it out, but StreamYard's a little bit different. I'm not sure how to do it on here. Dude, Funkmaster, like I actually the thing that I use for my countdown here, I play it really quickly. So that's actually from Markable's brother. He made that, and it's on YouTube. It's called Fish Fry, I believe. But it flags all of my streams that I put it on for monetization. So like, I mean, I don't make any money off like YouTube monetization anyway, so I don't really care. But they're all copyright strikes, even though I have permission to do it. And honestly, I'm just too lazy to get it fixed out because I mean, it doesn't affect the super chats, which is like the main way that I make money off the YouTube specific stuff. But I won't get banned. It just gets copyright strike, so I can't make money off it post hoc. Yeah, Kool-Aid. Like I'm setting up some OBS stuff because I have some ideas where set up a new window, control the gain, and then just roll the volume. Just call Grove. So it's not just sharing my screen, but it's actually like setting up a new. But we'll talk in the background afterwards, and we'll set it up together, man. I don't want to have any dead air right now figuring it out. Oh yeah, go ahead and sharing screen audio. Yeah, Breach, throw a link over to my way if you have a YouTube or something like that. So you're sharing screen audio too. Let's see, share screen. Let's do this. Let's see. Let me do this. Let's go to YouTube. We go on my other channel. So if this can work out, I actually wouldn't mind playing something. Let's do lo-fi beats. And, let's do Chrome tab. Share. Okay, let's see if this works. Can you guys hear that? It's working? Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Hold on. Can you still hear it? Can you still hear it now? No. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's do. So what did you want? Who wanted that? Somebody wanted some metal, so I'm gonna do album. I like this a lot. Let's do. There we go. We're going to the moon, baby. All right. That's super cool. That. That. Hey, there we go. I like it. All right. This is something. Can you guys hear that? I like it. Well, this is fun for me too because I like this. I like this album. Anyways, where were we? DeFi Dennis DJ, dude, Fast Abdul. I am a man of many talents. I will fix your teeth while talking your ear off about crypto with lo-fi in the background. Oh man. All right. Any other questions, guys? We're hitting about the hour mark. I'm happy to stay on for another couple minutes. I'm glad I got this figured out. I appreciate your help with that, Kool-Aid. This save. Oh, nope. Yeah, it's a little better. I'll play around with it later. All right. Let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Um, no, I think I hit it all. Yeah, let's see. If I switch to this tab, let's see. Does the music go away? Let me know if the music went away. Now the stream has just turned into me troubleshooting how to get music on here. I hope the people on the replay enjoy it. I'm surprised people are still sticking around for this. Honestly, I have more viewers now than at the start. The 43 people is gone. Okay, so then if I go back here, share this tab. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, shit. Now that I'm listening to music, guys, I want to hang out more. I was getting a little tired, but now I want to listen to more music. So give me some questions, guys. Thanks, Kool-Aid. I appreciate the live troubleshooting. All right. What else? Okay, so yeah, I'll start shilling at the very least until we get some more questions. Um, cryptosloth.info. So go to cryptosloth.info, and that's where I'm going to start running my consults through. And I'm putting together a fundamentals course, fundamentals course. So my primary goal for this course is I just want to get all of everything I've learned in these past 2 years of crypto. I want to get it on paper in an organized format, but also I wanted to offer it as a course to get you guys to give you guys an opportunity to learn more about like how I approach crypto investing from a first principle standpoint, and like what were the things that led me to find and like Hedron and Icosa? What are the different like principles that I use to determine when to take profits, how much to invest, what kind of projects do I like, etc., etc. I wanted to get all of that on paper, and then I also wanted to offer it as a course because I think people would provide a lot of, I think people would find a lot of value from it, and it's going to set a foundation for more coursework that I do in the future. Um, let's see what else. Um, Running my consults through there. If you go to the website now, cryptosloth.info, um, you can just put your email in there now, and then you'll know when the course is live and when the rest of the website is live. I am going to be running a deal when it first opens up. It's going to be about 50 to 60% off my consults. That's going to be about 10 consults at 50% off, and it's going to be available for a week. The course is going to go live in terms of being able to purchase it when the website goes live, and I'm also going to be opening up a private Telegram group too. I really enjoyed what I did with Silver. Get it on this hot sloth. Pull third party. See my personal audio. Let's see if I can do that. I have to figure out where to go to do that later, but I see what you mean. Let me see if I can. Maybe that might have helped it a little bit. Um, no audio in the music. That's all right. We're almost done. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm gonna open up a private Telegram group too. I really enjoyed that with Silver, and I think just having a personal, more tight knit group of people that I discuss things with, I would enjoy a lot, and I think I could provide a lot of value to you guys month to month. So those are some things. Those are some things to be on the lookout that I'm going to be putting out in the very near future. Probably in August is when it's all going to be coming out. So for any of you guys that are interested, throw your email into cryptosloth.info, and I'd love to see you there. If not, please consume all my free stuff, hang out with me here on the YouTubes, and that's more than enough. But for those of you who want to support me a little bit more, want a little bit of extra stuff, I'm going to have more options for those in the future. We got some questions. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, I think so. They're following P Hex's pump right now, so that's cool. There was another question in here. Oh, thanks, Bree. I really appreciate that. Is this? I think so. Oh, do you play? I play drums, Michael. I play drums. I have a little band with some of my dental school classmates. I'm not that good, but I can keep a beat. I got that. I got you on the straight beat 2 and 4. Um, yeah. All right, guys. I think that's all for me. Almighty Hexagon, good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, people sleeping on Hedron, that's for sure. All right, guys. So I'm gonna be heading out. It's about midnight over here. If you like the stream, this more casual stream, please give a like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm almost at 4,000 subs, which is pretty crazy. But Um, I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me tonight, all 41 of you. That's a lot of people for just a random night talking about nothing and troubleshooting audio with crypto cooling. But yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you. It always baffles me that you guys, listen to me ramble about this crypto stuff. I really appreciate it. And uh, Pure Alpha with Access Alive on Sunday, probably on his channel. Um, Keep an eye out for the website, coursework, consults, private Telegram, etc., etc. And then other than that, you guys have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys later. I'll be around. Peace out. Well, let me stop this first so we don't have multiple songs going on. Peace out.